David Goggins quote, "Don't negotiate with yourself." And I look at this, when I heard this, I thought it was a very powerful statement, because when there's something difficult that we need to do, like making this film while I'm driving, trying something new, pardon the noise in the background, I don't know how the audio is going to turn out, but don't negotiate with yourself means a lot of things to me. Is the difficulty of getting up and doing something you don't want to do to reverse type 2 diabetes in particular. You know, we start turning into ourselves, and in the end, don't negotiate with yourself means that you're your own enemy. You're the worst person in this whole deal that we have. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but think about it, guys. If you're not monitoring your blood sugars with a continuous glucose monitor or some form or fashion, you're pissing in the wind, you're shooting in the dark, right? You don't know, your doctor doesn't know, nobody knows. But even if your doctor did try to help you, or someone like me trying to tell you this information today to help you better yourself, help you take control of your blood sugars, reverse insulin resistance, it comes down to you. You know, I can lay down an entire roadmap for you, but if you don't follow it, and you don't have the ability, the mental ability, the craving, the want to change your life, nothing's going to happen. So therefore, you are your own worst enemy, and you're the one who has to take control of it. The conversation we don't want to have, but it's very necessary. And I don't think a lot of people want to have this conversation, and a lot of people sure as hell don't want to dish it out or dish it in. I dished it in. I knew what I needed to do, and it wasn't easy at all. There was at times I would negotiate with myself, and guys, I'm like my own lab rat, a test dummy. I test everything on myself. I can do experiments all the time, right? But one of the experiments I do with myself is when I start to be a little bitch and complain and whine about how tired I am, or stressed out, or how I don't deserve to be working as hard as I do. All of these things, you'll probably fail. All of these things come into my mind, and I have to sit back as a second person and listen to it. You know, some people like to refer to this as the subconscious mind, right? And that's how I know we shouldn't negotiate with ourselves. So if you plan on setting some healthy habits, like eating healthier, getting exercise, which are all things, complete change, lifestyle change, it starts with you, and you have to make that pact with yourself, and you can't negotiate with yourself. I thought it was very interesting, because a lot of us like to push out the blame on externally, that it's the system, it's the government, you know, it's my parents, it's genetics, it's all this stuff, boo-hoo, woe is me. But in order to make something happen, you got to put some actions in place. You have to stand up for yourself. And like I said, first of all, you have to want it. The first thing I would look at, if somebody asked me to help them, I would say, do you really want this? Do you understand that there's a dream and a reality? And the majority of people with everything, it's just a life lesson, life philosophy, I think that's universal, is the majority of us are in love with the idea and the dream, but not the reality of things. We're also stuck in the aesthetics of things instead of the functionality. It may not look pretty. It looks pretty fucking silly when I'm rolling my eyes around doing eye exercises to try to improve my eyesight. It's pretty silly to go out there and do this in public for thousands of people to see, right? These little eye exercises. And do I even know it's silly, because do I even know if it's going to work? No. But I go out there and I do these things, and I make sure that I'm regimented, that I don't negotiate with myself in the morning. See, this is a perfect example to give you guys for myself, because I like to pick on myself the worst, is I would say that, well, I'll do it for lunch at lunchtime instead of doing it in the morning. I'm tired, I got a lot of shit I got to take care of. And then next thing I know, I didn't do it that day. And that's fine. If you miss a day, you know, we're all not perfect. And you shouldn't negotiate with yourself, right, in the first place. But shit happens, and sometimes you miss it. If you miss it for a day, that's fine. Don't beat yourself up. Get back on it, right? I like to keep the David Goggins kind of style. Like, if I fucked up and didn't do my eye exercises, I'll force myself to do it even before I go to bed, right? Just to discipline myself. That's just the way I am. I don't don't recommend this for saying that you should or shouldn't do this, but I like it. It's kind of... my other thing was I bring my own bags to the grocery store, and this one's fucking irritating. So in order for me to get this habit of not wasting plastic and bringing my own bags to the grocery store to bag up my groceries. If I forget them, what I do is after I get to the cash register, you know, the clerk there, and I've been waiting in line this whole entire time, and I forgot my bags. My punishment is, well, set your cart aside, go walk all the way back outside, get your bags, get back in line, and then hopefully you'll remember next time, right? Love yourself. Don't beat the living shit out of yourself, but definitely don't let yourself argue with yourself. Don't let yourself negotiate with you. Very powerful thing that we need to figure out here. It's not just type 2 diabetes. Like I said, this is a life philosophy with everything. But particularly, you know, we're busy people, individuals. We got a lot of stuff we got to do. When you pack on an illness such as type 2 diabetes, there's a lot of shit you got to do. You got to wake up earlier in the morning, or you got to work out before you go to bed, you know, go for a walk. You got to change your diet. You got to give up sugar, carbohydrates if you're doing the low carb thing. All of these things aren't easy. So it takes a pact that you make with yourself and you stick with it. And guys, according to Atomic Habits, the book, I believe it was 66 days it takes to do something consecutively in a row before it becomes a routine habit where you don't even have to think about it anymore. So it's not like we got here overnight. We sure as hell ain't getting out of here overnight. But we have to put these things in implementation, especially the mindset. So when you find yourself complaining to yourself, right? This is a positive. Again, I know this is not the most sexiest thing to talk about. That's why I know my channel will never really pop off anywhere. But I know that it's the necessities of life that we need to acknowledge, each of us as individuals. It starts right there. Fuck the map, what you should do as far as health and all that. Get your mindset straight. Understand this negotiation tactic. Understand that you can be your own worst enemy. There is no cavalry coming. There's nobody coming to help you. And if there is, they can't help you if you don't help yourself. That's like the biggest thing, the biggest problem. Number one, probably one of the most powerful messages that I can get out in the world right now about type 2 diabetes is just that. Like I said, even if somebody wants to help you, they can't be there 24/7. You have to do things that you've never done before. You have to knuckle up. As David Goggins like I said, you got to stay hard. Life is fucking hard. Having type 2 diabetes is hard. Changing your whole entire lifestyle around is hard. I talked yesterday about the failure and embarrassment of type 2 diabetes, right? You can't eat all that food. People are looking at you funny, you know. If somebody puts a bowl of ice cream or a big old cake in front of you and you're like, yeah, I don't eat that. And they're just like, who the hell are you? Why? What happened? And the embarrassment to say, well, I got type 2 diabetes, right? And a lot of people like probably hit it on themselves, say it was my fault. And in most cases, I think it is our fault. It's self-induced by lifestyle design. But don't beat yourself up. You did it. You can undo it. You just have to have that power of perception to notice that you, 99% of you, are able to do this. It's a very small quantity that I don't think we'll be able to. Right? There may be some sort of illnesses that I've heard that it's very minute, very tiny amount. And I'm wondering if it has something to do with the mindset. That the reason they couldn't get everybody for their type 2 diabetes to be reversed is because there's that select few that just gave up. You know, what you think about yourself, the dialogue you say is very important. A lot of people believe in physical manifestations, mantras and things like that, right? And I think it's a great thing. I think every morning when I wake up, I say, today's going to be a great day. I try to say it out loud or in my mind and tell other people, today is a great day. And when we say that, it spreads like wildfire. This is one of those external things, though, that you spread positivity in the world and it makes you feel good about yourself. But one problem we have with a lot of people like myself is when we go to spread goodness in the world and we want to help other people, you have to make sure that you help yourself. You have to go back to that pact, right? You don't negotiate with yourself. Make sure you take care of you too. When an airplane is going down, the first thing they teach you is to put the oxygen mask on yourself, but your instinct is to go put it on your child, right? So that they don't black out. But what good are you after you put the oxygen mask on your child and then you don't have enough oxygen to put on yourself and you black out? Take care of yourself and then help as many other people as you can first. And that involves not negotiating with yourself, listening to your intuition, and being what I like to call human up. Fuck man up, cowboy up, woman up, human up. First of all, human up to yourself. Be the decent human being with kindness generosity, thoughtfulness, and awareness of yourself. Love yourself enough to give yourself this gift, to get yourself back into health, to be better. Guys, when you reverse type 2 diabetes and you start, you get this scare, and unfortunately it takes us there to actually get something like an illness like this that can be reversed. But once you start eating healthy and changing your lifestyle around, you're going to feel so fantastic. You're going to feel so good. And I think that this whole tactic of the non-negotiability of understanding that you most likely are your worst enemy, and once you get past that, you will know that you are your own best friend. And I think that's what a lot of people say is, maybe in the words of Bob Marley, can you be loved, right? And can you love yourself? So it's very easy to point our fingers out in the world with kindness and hatred, but very difficult to point it inwards and own up to all the bullshit that we all have going on inside of our own heads, right? So not only will you, if you reverse type 2 diabetes, start getting regular exercise, you're going to lose weight, you're going to look good for yourself first, you're going to feel fantastic, you're going to have a giant accomplishment, your story to tell. I mean, a lot of people don't have shit going on for themselves. You ask them what's new, or, just their general well-being, their general energy, their sense of adventure, of enlightenment. They don't really have anything, because I think a lot of people haven't conquered much, right? The inconvenience of our conveniences around this matrix of this societal world that we live in, everything's at our fingertips. So we've been given everything. It reminds me of rich kids, right? We have rich kids who complain and are coke heads and on drugs and stuff, saying, I never had to work for what I own, so I don't know. I feel like I've earned nothing, and I feel like a piece of shit. And then we get the poor kids who are like, I never was given the opportunity because my family grew up poor and everything. I worked my whole entire life and I feel like shit, right? And the point is to get past all that. Look at both spectrums. Whether things are easy for you, given to you, or things are not given to you. The choice is yours to earn what you have achieved. And once you achieve that, you have that story to tell. You have excitement, you have enlightenment. It makes you more powerful as a human being. And as you guys go through your day-to-day lives, understanding that negotiating with yourself is not an option, you'll become a very fucking powerful person because of it. I feel this is real talk. If it is, hit that like, subscribe, share, comment. The biggest thing you guys can do with this is to share this information with somebody who needs it. Go down to, take a link of this video, copy it, it's right in the share button, and send this to a Facebook group somewhere so others can find it and find out who's the real diabetic Spartan that's out here talking for the people, who's not only talking about how to reverse type 2 diabetes and do all the things you speak of, but actually showing you guys with my blood sugar monitor, from the things I cook to my YouTube lives every day where we go over my blood sugars to show proof that you guys can feel comfortable and maybe be inspired to know that it is possible, because there's nobody else like me who's out there giving this shit away for free and not putting everything behind a paywall, right? I don't make any money here, guys. In fact, I'm on my way to, I'm a roofing contractor by trade. I could definitely use your help to at least spread the word of this and help me get to, maybe at least 1,000 subscribers here. That way I could start earning money, maybe to even pay for my CGM a little bit, or my blood labs that I get done regularly to show people what it looks like to be healthy. My friends, that's all I have for you today. I'll see you guys on the next video.